You can actually incorporate or use Kegels during sexual intercourse to drive your man out of his mind. How do you do that? What if I told you that somebody is about to be freed from the low libido jail? Not only that, somebody is about to learn how to level up their sexual intimacy in the bedroom. Yes, sis, may I boldly say that some of you watching this video are about to take their sexual intimacy, or rather to be specific, their intercourse from a level 3 or 4 to a level 10 and beyond using Kegels. What are Kegels, one may ask? Well, Kegels is the term given to the pelvic floor muscle exercises. And may I say, both men and women can use Kegels. However, on this video, I'm going to be talking about Kegels for women. I'm sure some of you have heard about Kegels, but you have no idea how powerful Kegels can impact your sexual intimacy. Literally, guys, Kegels can take your boring, lousy, dull sex life from a level 2 or 3 all the way to 10 and up. And on this video, I'm going to be showing you how. On the other hand, some of you may have heard a lot about how Kegels can improve or can impact a woman's sexual intimacy. But guess what? I'm going to share with you how you can use Kegels during intercourse to drive your man out of his mind. And I've shared this technique not only in my book, but with a number of women who have put it into practice, and they've come back and expressed their gratitude. I'm sure some of you, if you've heard of Kegels, you've heard how Kegels can help you with bladder control, that is preventing incontinency. Yes, for sure, Kegels are very, very important when it comes to bladder control. Personally, I believe they can transform and they can take your sexual intimacy life to higher levels that you never even expected or dreamt about. And what's neat about the pelvic floor muscles is that you can do them anywhere, anytime, many times a day. Whether you're driving, sitting, watching TV, you can do these exercises without anyone ever even knowing that you're doing them. The more you do these exercises, the better for you, especially if you're a woman that has just given birth and you're trying to gather all the muscles and bring back the VJJ to a better shape and a tighter shape. These are highly recommended. You can do these exercises as often as you think about them. Personally, if you ask me, when it comes to women's sexual intimacy or women's health in general, I think the Kegels are the most important exercise in a woman's life. I do recommend that if you are a woman who is not just sexually active, but who wants to keep everything in shape as far as your kitty and intact, I recommend that you get into the habit of doing pelvic floor muscle exercises. Let me tell you how you do this exercise. You have to be very relaxed to do this exercise. You start off by locating those muscles that help you stop the flow of urine. That is the pelvic floor. Just relax and locate those muscles, contract them, that is, tighten them up. The motion of tightening them up is what actually causes the contraction of the pelvic floor. So you can tighten them up and count from 1 to 20 and relax and let go, and do it again, count 1 to 20, relax and let go. I always say the more you do this, the tighter your vagina is gonna get. The way I check if I'm doing the pelvic floor muscles correctly and if they are being impactful, and of course this is not for everyone. If it's not for you, just keep your comment to yourself. But I do recommend, and I mentioned this in my book, while you're taking a shower, with a clean finger, can be your pointing finger or your middle finger. Usually I prefer the middle finger, without nails. If you've got those artificial nails, this is not for you. You cannot do this test, but you should not have nails at all. Stick your finger and grab, use your kitty to grab your finger tight. If you can grab your finger tight using your VJJ, that is a sign that you are doing them correctly. You may start off unable to hold your finger tight using your VJJ. That's perfectly fine. However, as you continue to do the exercise, you should be able to grab tight your finger inside your vagina, okay? Without anything, no nails, no nail polish whatsoever. Just make sure that you grab your finger using your vagina. The tighter you can hold it, the better, and that shows you are in the right track. Of course, if you just had a baby, it will take time, but guess what? You will get get there. And I always recommend that instead of using that hot, I know personally I love a very hot shower on my back, but when it comes to your VJJ, you need to use cool or cold water. The cooler the water or the colder the water, as much as you can tolerate, the better for your kitty catty. Of course, if you cannot tolerate cold water, do not use cold water, but avoid using very hot scalding water on your VJJ. On one of the videos that I'm working on, I'm actually working on vaginal health, because I believe a healthy vagina leads to a healthy sexual intimacy life. Okay, so you want to make sure that you are subscribed and make sure that you hit the notification bell so that you don't miss that video and more sexual intimacy videos that I'll continue to bring to you. Okay, now that you have mastered the Kegel exercises and you've been doing them consistently, and now it's like part of you whenever you think about to do them. Oh, let me say one thing that I almost forgot to mention is some people use weight to do these Kegels. So these weights will be coming a set from small to biggest, maybe 3 or 4 sizes. What you can do if you decide to go that route and get the Kegel weights is those ones you insert inside your vagina and then you continue with the exercises. The whole goal is to make sure that you hold with that weight, that ball inside your vagina without it falling off. Okay, however, personally I recommend the natural way of doing it. Okay, instead of inserting the weights that are inserted like a tampon, if I can avoid or minimize the things that go inside my VJJ, the better, which is what you're going to learn on a future video about taking care of your vagina. If you can avoid things going inside, of course, except for your men's organ and tampons, or those who still believe in using tampons, and maybe your clean finger while you're testing whether you're doing the pelvic floor muscles correctly, I would really stay away from putting anything foreign in my body. So for me, weights are out. I prefer doing it the natural way. Now, how do Kegels benefit a woman during sex? Okay, what the Kegels do for women is, if you're a woman who's been suffering or struggling with a low libido, it has been proven that more women who did this exercise actually end up with a higher sex drive as their pelvic floor muscles get toned, because these muscles are like your biceps and triceps. The more you exercise them, the better for you. If these pelvic floor muscles are not exercised, guess what? They just are let loose, which is what makes sex to be different woman to woman. It can increase a woman's sex drive. Of course, it also helps with bladder control, especially as you get older. You'll be able to control the flow of urine and be able to hold urine back as long as you can until you can get to use the toilet. So Kegels help with the contraction of the pelvic floor, which helps a woman have bladder control and avoid incontinence. They also help in a woman who has just given birth to a child by helping their vaginal muscles and pelvic floor tighten up. So in other words, the pelvic floor muscle exercises kind of strengthen your vagina. They contract it. They bring those muscles much closer to each other, which is what explains the incontinence solution. What enables you to be able to hold the flow of urine is because of those toned up pelvic floor muscles. Which also reminds me, when I first started learning about Kegels, the way we were taught was, oh, sit on the toilet, start the flow of urine and then stop it. However, we've since learned that medically that is not recommended. It is not healthy to start the flow of urine, stop it, start it again, stop it. While it's a good way of checking whether you are able to stop or control the flow of urine voluntarily, medically it is not recommended. So don't do it. Do it the way I've taught you. Use your clean finger, no nails, no nail polish. Grab the finger, middle finger or pointing finger, grab it with your vagina. The tighter you can grab it, the better. Now, what are the benefits of Kegels? The benefits, like I've mentioned, bladder control. Of course, that's the original intent for them. And then also they help tighten up your vaginal muscles, which is great. They also help bring back the libido for those women who suffer from a low sex drive. Kegels have been proven to actually elevate your sex drive. Who doesn't want that? that. If you're that 9 p.m. headache kind of lady, trying Kegels may help you bring back that sex drive, okay? Another benefit of Kegels is they give you stronger, more intense orgasms. This is vaginal or cervical orgasms. They become more intense and very, very strong because your pelvic floor muscles are toned up and they are well groomed, okay? Now, how do you use, I know most of you have been told how the Kegels benefit a woman sexually, but like I mentioned in my book, and I'll mention here, apart from you sis benefiting or improving your sexual health using Kegels, I've mentioned this before in a number of videos, you can actually incorporate or use Kegels during sexual intercourse to drive your man out of his mind. How do you do that? So the way you're going to use Kegels during sex is you're going to just do your movements and whatever you're doing, and then once your man, and hopefully by this time you've already orgasmed at least once, twice or 3 times, all this time you are not using the Kegels. And I stress that do not use the Kegels before your man ejaculates, because what the Kegels do, they will drive the man over the edge, okay? So what you want to do is once your man ejaculates, in other words, once he comes, and once he's in that standstill mode, like figuring out what's going on, that is when you're going to throw in that pelvic floor muscle pulling together. As you are pulling together those pelvic floor muscles while he's inside of you, you are squeezing or you are pinching his manhood. Keep doing this. That's the squeeze and release technique that I talk about in another video. So you do the squeeze, you tighten your pelvic floor muscles, squeeze his manhood tight, relax. Do it again, relax. Do it again, relax. And by this time, the more you do this and every time you squeeze, you are going to observe your man's reaction. He's just going to be going crazy. I've heard that some of these men don't like to express their feelings during sex, or they like to act macho and act like they are strong. But every woman that I give this tip, they come back and say, oh, he was groaning and moaning. It's because of the power and the impact of the pelvic floor muscles. Yes, sis, pelvic floor contractions can elevate your sex life. They can drive your man out of his mind. I want you to go ahead and try this technique, and please be kind enough to send me a message. You can DM me on Instagram or you can email me. Tell me, hey, Coach Nokie, that thing worked. This is how you can use the pelvic floor exercises during sexual intercourse, during penetration, after orgasm, to drive your man out of his head and have him asking for more and getting him hooked. This is where you got the power, girl. You can control this whole thing using that powerful tool that you walk around with between your legs, your kitty catty. I do want to hear from you. If you found this video useful, what was your biggest takeaway from this video? Leave me a comment below, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. A lot of people watching these videos are not subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that you get notified as soon as I drop that sex health video and many, many, many more. In the meantime, go through the catalog of my videos and use them to enhance and to spice up your sexual intimacy. I also invite you to check the description box below for useful links like the Amazon link to my book Spice It Up, It's Time to Revive Your Intimacy, and to access my calendar for my one-on-one coaching sessions for those women who desire to elevate or to spice up or enhance their sexual intimacy, or for those ladies who are preparing to get married. If you enjoyed this video, I know for sure that you'll enjoy this next one here. Remember to do small things with great love. Don't forget to keep it spicy. From my heart to yours, adios, bye-bye, God bless you, I love you, I sincerely do. See you next time.